And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 370. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK show, I am going to be having a conversation with Wilky's Movies and Music, aka Corey, who runs the channel actually, and this is going to be his first appearance on the show.
That's right.
And I actually got a chance to look at your, YouTube channel and Instagram after I had deleted scenes on. He's a friend of yours.
Yeah,
and then
friend. Yeah.
I had seen you guys do a collaborational effort several times on his YouTube channel talking about movies and whatever. So then I kind of went through all the people's descriptions in his description box below of the episodes you guys were on with him, for him and his show. And I was like, okay, he seems like people I could have on the show and talk to about movies and music or whatever, and have a good time. So yesterday we had on Kyle, and now we're having on Corey. So
and Kyle's another guy I got to do some live streams with as well. Yeah, good guy. So you're getting I'm not saying for myself here, but for Deleted and Kyle, you have some good ones that you're bringing on there, and it's cool. I love you reaching out and bringing people on.
The more that I looked at my episode with deleted scenes, it feels like I didn't get them enough in more of a talking kind of way.
Okay.
It feels like it was a little standoffish, but I understand how that works in life because you don't want to always give too much. You got to always kind of feel someone out because when you do this kind of thing, you don't know if you're gonna get like ambushed, as people say these days. So it makes sense. Next time when I'm Corey on, I'm gonna have him talk a little bit more. But he was talking. It's just I had to it's like a turtle. I had to knock his shell down a little bit.
I would say that's nothing against you at all. I think that's just what we're dealing with now today. We're sometimes when you're talking to somebody for the first time, maybe you're a little more standoffish. You kind of hold back a little bit because you're afraid of getting that gotcha moment, of, like, oh my gosh, look what he said, kind of thing. But
so since this is your first appearance on the show, which is crazy because I was supposed to do this with Kyle yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. So I have to do it next time he's on the show. Typically for the first appearances, we do like the origin stories first. That way, when you come on for a second and third appearance later on down the road in the show's life expectancy, you don't have to do it again. You can already just point to this one where it's already there and it's already done. So let's start with your origin story, then we'll get into like YouTube and the physical media collecting and music and stuff like that. So how was your life growing up? Did you have both parents growing up?
Yes, I did. But I'm an adopted child. So
really?
Okay. Yeah. So that's one thing, not to like lean into that too much, but I think it plays a big part into how I feel and relate to some things. But my parents, I grew up on a small farm in Iowa. I'm not Superman
yet.
It was Kansas. No, it's Kansas. I'm in Iowa.
Dude, Kansas, Superman and Dorothy are the best things about Kansas. Who knows anything about Kansas and Nebraska?
Yeah, exactly. Or Iowa,
Right. Yeah, it's like I remember someone telling me about New Hampshire because I'm pretty sure that's a state. It's like, who the fuck lives in New Hampshire? Who do you know that lives in these places?
Somebody has to live there, and that's like Iowa. when you're flying from where you're at to where you want to go, you're probably going over where I live. So we always joke about being a flyover state, you go over that. But yeah, small town Iowa farm. And I was my parents, they were able to have my older brother together, and not to go too much into that, but myself and my younger sister are adopted, and love them to death. They're my parents. So but yeah, I think that's a great the way they raised me and did those things. It made me a lot of who I am today, and I'm always grateful for that. We're not all perfect, but they gave me my goods and my bads, but hopefully more of the good. So
at least you got the scenario where you got the adopted parents that's the dream scenario. The two loving parents that want the kid,
they're praying for a kid. And,
So just make sure I clarify, you were adopted and they already had biological kids, and
Yeah.
those became your brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so my older brother, he's 6 years older than me. He's their biological,
Right. Okay. Okay.
and then there was, not to go too much into it, but they're in
Yeah.
miscarriages. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I'm adopted.
Mhm.
So the middle child, the
Yes.
forgotten one. I always gotta
Black sheep
bring
of the
that up.
family.
Yeah.
You know, I can actually do the joke, the black sheep of the family. Actually, I can actually do it.
I can't say that. I just can say like I'm the forgotten one.
You mean there's always white wolves.
So true. So true. And then my younger sister, she was adopted as well. So yeah.
So it sounds like you had some really good adopted parents. You know, we actually have
absolutely.
someone on the channel, a panelist that comes on every Monday, Bob. He adopted kids too, actually.
I love that. And anybody that has room in their house or their heart, and or both for that, I always there's a soft spot in there for me because of where I came from. So that's very cool if they can do that.
Yeah, it's really crazy that, you know, you have people that, you know, not to go down that road yet, but people would rather terminate kids instead of just giving them a chance to live, you know. And you had a situation like that, you know, your real
Easily
parents
could have gone that way.
Yeah, and they chose not to do that, and they chose to put you in that situation. You got the best. You roll. So essentially, it's this League of Legends player. His name is 369, and the joke is you either roll a 3, a 6, or a 9. You got the 9, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, yeah. So you actually got the Billy Batson treatment from Shazam. Actually,
I honestly I didn't grow up in the lap of luxury or anything, but I could not have asked for anything more. I had parents that loved me and siblings one way or the other, that
do you still talk to your parents?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So how old are they now?
So they're in their mid to late 70s for both of them. Yeah. I'm old. Look at my beard. Yep. So
well,
I'm pushing.
What happened after you were adopted? So you went to public school, private school. What did they have you in?
So we were in public school.
Okay.
I was in a very, very small rural school all the way up through junior high. And then there's been, I think, across the nation, a lot of things where funds are tight, things happen, and then you consolidate with other bigger schools. So as I'm knocking things over, sorry. But all the way through junior high, very small school, very, very small. And some people probably shocked, but my class was the biggest class of that school before we consolidated, and I had 23 in my class. So
that is crazy. Yep.
Yeah.
Always happens when you go to high school. You have those little I forgot what they're called. You go into those auditoriums and you have like all the grades, and then people wonder like, hey, why is it shrinking until you get to the senior year? Well, that's how it works. People just fall off for whatever reason.
Yep. So we had, at least in our state, I don't know if other ones were like this as well, but where funds started shrinking, schools would consolidate and they'd start grouping together. And so my whole high school career, whatever you want to call it, was at for me, a bigger school, but I know for some people it'll still be a small one. But
so what happened after high school? What did you end up doing?
Well, I had a big idea at the time. I was going to go into the Army, and my mom did not like that at all.
I had the same idea too. I wanted to do the same thing.
I was like, that's something I can do. It'd be worthwhile. And I
was watching too many movies, man. The movies.
we all do. We all do it. We all do it. But my senior year of high school, so right about December to January of my senior year of high school, I completely blew out my left knee in wrestling while I was on the wrestling team, and football and wrestling was a big thing that I did, but it went out, and the recruiter said, we're good and we don't need to talk to you anymore because I'm damaged goods at that point,
Good Lord.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that was something, it was tough to deal with, but I think it was a good thing to deal with as well. You can't have everything sugar coated, and that was not the end of the world. But at the same time, to know, like you weren't wanted. I know that sounds bad, but like for reasons like I was injured,
and that's how sports are. That's why I always say to any parent out there, because I only just played tennis in school. That was it. But even just learning tennis and understanding how like a team environment is, what a coach does, and all that other stuff. Sports is so cutthroat. Like if you're injured, then you're pretty much like, I'll see you next Tuesday. Yeah, or you're done. That's
you're
it.
done.
Yeah.
You're done. Especially like that was senior year. So that's where I always I understand education is an excellent thing to have, but when people like totally just drop on people who exit college early to go into pros or like something else, I'm like, you cannot blame them one bit, because once you get injured, you're done. You can go into the pros and whatever happens,
Right.
but you could always go back and get your education. Education is important. So please, I'm not saying that is not, but if you have some God-given gifts, like some talents that can be taken away in one play, like, take it, not take advantage of it, but like just use it to its fullest.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you like wrestling and football. Are you watch in the NFL?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So who's your team?
So
Are you more of a college football guy? Because I know there's a difference these days.
Yeah. No, there definitely is. I always get a lot of grief for that. I'm in Iowa, so pro teams, I have to adopt other states because we don't have that. So talking about adoption, I gotta do that with pro teams.
You just adopted the Cowboys. That's how it works, right?
Yeah. No, honestly, with NFL, I love watching it. I can just pick, as long as it's a good game, I can watch it, but I don't, whether people hold it against me or not, I don't have one team that is like, that's my team, they got to win.
Right.
I don't have that, but man, I absolutely love a great down to the wire NFL game. I'll watch anybody as long as it's a competitive game. So
wrestling, you watch WWE?
Yeah, I'll watch a little bit. I'm definitely not a big fan. I shouldn't say it that way. I don't follow it enough to be able to talk intelligently about it.
Just a casual viewer of the WWE. Okay.
Yeah, very casual. I'll pick up college wrestling. So like just the other weekend, I'm in Iowa. There was Iowa and Iowa State dual match, like two big in-state rival. I can't talk. Sorry.
It's all good.
Competitors, we'll say that.
Yeah.
But it was a very tough match, and they're heated. That's in-state, they go at each other a lot.
Those in-state rivalries are even more bigger than like the ones that are like the legendary ones. Like for anyone who doesn't know, like in California, whenever it's basketball and it's the NBA, when it's ever like the Warriors versus the Lakers, it's think the crowd be cheering for them both. No, there's much difference between them and the culture and the place you live. So after high school, did you end up just like getting married and having some kids yourself, or you went and did your own thing for a little bit?
Not right away. I went to college. So I went and started a path that I ended up not following, but that's not too different than a lot of young people.
I think that's going to be the case with more people now.
90%.
Yeah. College is a scam. That's true. Unless it's like something very specific, I would say 90% a scam.
So I said that right away. And both my children, I have two kids.
Okay.
And that's what I said to them is I felt there was no choice for me. Like I had to go to college. And I told both of them, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. There's certain routes you can go that it's very beneficial, but that's not the only answer. And that might not be the answer for you. And both of them went different routes. And I'm happy for that. I think as of right now, they're both pursuing things that they enjoy. And it was outside of that route of things. But when I was graduating from high school, there was like no question I was supposed to go to college,
So what ended up happening after college?
So I was in college. I ended up transferring to a different school, and then I met my lovely wife.
Okay.
So that was a chance meeting. I will say that I was at a college. She was visiting a friend that went to the same college, and we ended up running into each other. And this will show my age, but before cell phones and unlimited long distance calls were a thing, I would actually cringe if I could add up how much long distance phone calls my wife and I had to each other when we started dating. So yeah.
Yeah, guys. Oh my goodness.
I'm old. I'm sorry.
No one understands that. I know I had it back in the day growing up.
That was a pain. Long distance calls, man.
Oh my god! I mean, you were around when payphones were still a thing. Holy crap, man!
Yeah, they were still there too.
Yeah. Do you remember BlackBerry phones and stuff?
Oh, for real? Yeah, I had a BlackBerry. Was it Pearl or I had one of the cheaper BlackBerry phones when it first came out, but
Man,
I thought that thing was just awesome. I was like, oh my gosh.
Remember, like on phones, people don't remember. Like they still do this kind of now, but it's not as popular. You could pay for minutes on your phone.
Oh yeah. That's how it was when I started. You were paying per your minutes, and so yeah, like I said, I would probably cringe right now how much we spent talking to each other over extra minutes or long distance phone calls. So
all right, so after that you ended up doing the family thing. So how was that from your perspective? Because how your kids are older now, I imagine they're all old and done. So do you have a boy and a girl or two of the same?
Boy and girl. So I have an older boy. He's 22. He's
22.
currently in the Air Force.
In the Air Force. That's great. Okay.
Yeah. And so, like I said, he went to college first and fell kind of out of love with what he wanted to go into. And that's where I told him,
like father, like son.
Yeah. But absolutely. But that's where I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's not the answer for everybody, kind of a thing. And not one thing fits for every single person.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he'll stay in that, but I think it's been a very good thing for him. He's like through that time, he's now married, which I feel even older when I say I have a kid that's married. But then my daughter, she went into cosmetology school and is now working at a nice place, and she's working hard but having a good time with it. And man, if you can find something that you enjoy doing, like, man, go for it. But
so you and you and your wife have been together for a very long time. You know, like divorce rates are, through the roof. And
what are you trying to say?
And statistically,
no, I'm kidding.
Women are the ones that initiate the divorce for whatever reason, right? So you can tell it's women who don't want to be married anymore. But how do you stay married as long as you do then?
So no, I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't want to
obviously
turn things off too much. But we have strong religious beliefs, and
you're Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So like I said, I don't want to push anything on anybody, and it doesn't bother me that people don't. So I know sometimes you mentioned.
I think I know what you're going to say. Like when you have a strong religious foundation with the other partner, it makes things easier because you're both on the same level as far as morals and principles, kind of thing.
Well, or even if it's not easier, you have an idea of what that commitment was that you made to each other, and you're gonna have hard times. I mean, gosh, there's no way in the world that you can live with somebody that long and not have problems. I mean, that's just being realistic. We're human.
I just think it's crazy nowadays. Humans, there's a lot of people that grow up in the era that your kids would be, they have to be like Gen Z. Their group of peers, for some reason, think hardship is unavoidable in life. They're like, if I work, I'm going to have to struggle. Damn, welcome to the club. All of us have done it. It does kind of suck. But I think if you struggle or have any type of hardship in life, you said from like your origin of growing up, that makes you a better person. That makes you see life in a much more better way, where now you become a much more person with your eyes open. You know,
I,
this notion you can go through life with no hardship that's ridiculous. That'd be boring. If I had life with no heart, that's boring in my opinion.
yeah, there's no way you can do that. And I'm going to say, like, all those things that will shape how you view other things, good or bad, in the
Right.
future.
Yeah.
And it definitely influences that. And oh gosh, that's a hard thing with your kids too. I'll say that right off the bat. You have to let them go through some of those things. They're gonna trip and stumble and fall, and those are things you did yourself, and it's hard to see them do that, and you want to try to, like, somehow make them avoid ever having to deal with that. But I think it's just something that builds you up, makes you a stronger person, and it's hard for a parent to see or their kids go through some of those struggles, but at the end of the day, I think it's something that it makes them a better person, and
Yeah.
shapes how they look at life and their decisions going forward too.
I think men specifically, because women have a little bit more easier time in life with a lot of things that can be given to them just based on just being women. I feel like with guys, to really get the
Oh,
most out of them, having hardships. Actually, what was the old saying back in the day when you were growing up? Hard times make for better men, kind of thing. Like,
yeah, yeah.
hard,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Hard times make better men. Easy times make weak men.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a.
that was always the.
I
Yeah.
truly think if dudes don't go through any sort of hardship, they're just gonna not understand. I don't know. It's like in sports, there's being clutch, understand, because like there's a saying back in the day too, like you'll know who your real friends are when you're really down on your luck, kind of thing. There's a
Mhm.
lot of things, and your perspective changes when you go through hardship. And it's like I wouldn't wish hardship on anyone, but it's just the factor of life we have to deal with, you know. And I
Yeah.
feel like it's just a nice experience to have where you can go and look at yourself when you're over your hearts and be like, I reached the other side and I'm a better person for it because now I have the perspective that I have now. But had you not gone through that, you just not would have the perspective, which I think is unfortunate that some people just don't want to live life. It's like it's gonna be hard. It's like, yes, that's gonna be unavoidable. Sorry. That's
Yeah,
just it,
I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just even when you're in your with your soulmate, the person you love,
Yeah.
no matter what, there's going to be the day when you look at each other and you are not completely happy with the
That's
other
true. Yeah.
person.
And women specifically, they'll just say something. You're just like, wow, all
Well,
right.
I'll give this. I'll say something once in a while too. So I'm not innocent of that at all. So I will say, in my relationship anyway,
Mhm.
we're both guilty of that. So I will own that. I will say that for sure. We're human.
Mhm.
We're not. We're imperfect, and man, a relationship is not going to be easy. Like,
Yeah.
anytime you got to share a space, um, finances, livelihoods, whatever,
Mhm.
it's not going to be easy. And there's going to be times where you're not going to be in the honeymoon stage, let's just say. but
Yeah. Yep.
but
Honeymoon
that
phase is
doesn't.
over. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but it doesn't mean it's horrible. It just means there's gonna be times you just gotta know that you're gonna have to work through. So
So your YouTube channel, did you start it because you were inspired by someone? Because as people can see from your background, you have a lot of movies there, and we'll get into physical media discussion in a little bit. But um, did you just want to make videos and do streams because you saw someone do it, and you're like, okay, this allows me to vent my thoughts and opinions about various movies and TV shows I've watched throughout the years, or you just were like, I want to get a mic and just go.
um I have a I love movies, and that was one thing growing up. I loved going to the theater.
Mhm.
So always had a good time with that. Always loved talking about it, and just people in my life. It doesn't mean a bad thing, but like, some
Mhm.
people like to talk about it more than others. And I think originally it was reaching out to find other people that would want to talk about it. So I was diving into a live stream like this. I was diving into the live stream chat a lot, and like chatting with people in there,
Mhm.
and joining in with the conversation. And I still do that. I still have a good time doing that. But then I don't know, something at one point where I was like, you know what? I feel like talking more, and
Mhm.
not I didn't leave that. I still jump into other people's chats, live streams, and I still have a good time with that. But it kind of gave me that little kick in the rear to
Mhm.
be like, don't be too nervous about it, just get out there and do it. You don't have to be perfect, and start talking. And I'm so glad I did. I've gotten to meet like you two right now.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have done that, there's so many people I would not have met in my life if I wouldn't have just like jumped out there and been like, okay, I know I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna just start talking
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah. And this is something that a lot of people just don't understand. It's like getting a type of audience is very hard in general. So like just because you're doing the thing doesn't mean you're just gonna get people and eyes
Right,
to watch your stuff. I think that's the
right.
biggest myth or misunderstanding a lot of new people think. It's just even if we were just on Rumble, anywhere, just getting any level of traction for
Right.
just doing this thing is very hard, you know?
I agree. I think there's just so much. It's so and I don't mean this bad way, but it's
Mhm.
so easy to get into that space and to
Yeah.
start putting some things out there. There's just so much stuff out there. It's just hard to get in front of new people. And that's where sometimes when I have people on my channel, I, tell anybody that's popping in, like, if you don't know this person, it doesn't cost you anything. Like, just hit sub and follow and the bell or whatever the crazy things are,
Yeah.
and just check them out for a little bit. If it's not your thing, you can
Mhm.
leave, no harm, no foul, but you might end up finding your next favorite channel.
Mhm.
It's just hard getting in front of those new people to be
Yeah.
able to meet and talk
And
to 'em.
collaborating, because I know you've did collaborations on your channel where you've brought on people.
Yeah,
You've I remember there was a few streams that I'd looked at, and you just had a certain person on or another person on,
yeah, yeah.
and a lot of people just don't get this because they're just not doing it, and it's like it's gonna sound weirdly pretentious, people, but it's not. It's just not. Even though I usually would sound pretentious, I'm an egomaniac actually, but this is kind of one of those things where if you actually don't do it, like most things in life, you can have a general surface level analysis of it. This is one of those things where if you actually don't do it, you legitimately won't know the ins and outs. So, like when you have a panel show, like we do have,
Mhm.
synergy. It's a very big thing amongst people.
Yeah,
If the panel does not synergize, that shit is terrible. It's literally
yeah,
just going to be a crappy show.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
if you bring on guests that don't talk enough, that's not going to be good,
Yep.
right? Or if you have someone on a show with a bad microphone, which that can be kind of fixed, but you don't know that initially when you're bringing them on. So that might just happen on the show, and that might ruin the entire experience with someone has bad audio. There's so many things you got to consider when it comes to this stuff, and you just have to just like go straight up blind right into it, like on a blind date with Stevie Wonder.
That's a great way to put it. It's definitely a blind date sometimes. You can go check out some other videos and stuff, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's truly a blind date. And I completely agree with you. And there's so many things that I tripped and stumbled over when I
Mhm.
decided, I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, like mic and camera and a light, or I have nothing that's like super crazy or anything like that, but I hope it's better than when I started.
Mhm.
I'll just say that. But it's, yeah, some things you don't think about at first when you, or at least for me anyway. I won't speak for everybody, but when I jumped into it, there was things I didn't think about, and I'm like, well, yeah, I could see where somebody wouldn't mind you having a better microphone than what I was, using at first, or
Yeah,
like jumping in that. If they're gonna listen to me jabber for a while, like
yeah.
maybe they want to have it not be too bad of a sounding jabber. So
Well, it's just part of, I think when you do this versus when you're being an audience member, people should take what you see as an audience member and apply it to actually being on a show. So if
yeah,
you're listening to a show and you're listening to it, let's say when you go to the gym or you're going back to work or home from work, if you want to really pay attention to what someone is saying, because it might be a long car ride home and that's your source of entertainment, it'd be nice if the person that's speaking has a good microphone to some extent, because you
yeah,
want to hear what they're saying.
yeah.
That's understandable from a viewer point of view, and I think that people can kind of understand and work with
Oh, sure.
when you understand how the ropes work.
Yeah.
But it's like when you're doing a panel show, it's like crap, because what I know about doing panel shows throughout my entire life is someone said something stupid on your panel show, they think you said that, even though you
Yeah.
really yourself didn't say
Mhm.
it at all.
Mhm.
Someone on a panel show could be
Mhm.
like, "I think Catwoman's the greatest superhero movie of all time." I'm like MSK. I was like, "I don't think that at all. If you ever heard me say that, I promise you, I'll give you all the money in my bank account right now. If you ever heard me say that,
Yep.
here, have all my money in my bank account, please." But
Uh,
that's all.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah,
No,
it's literally how the shows work. You assume all the rewards of it, but you also assume all the risk of it too.
Yeah.
But
Whether
that's
you
what
did it
doesn't
or
get
not.
Yeah, whether you did it or not, doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. And then people sometimes it's hard for them to listen because I think sometimes when you have a show like these, people can be like hearing you, but they're not listening. When you have like a panel show sometimes, so you have to make sure you reiterate certain stances you have. That way they're understanding clear because someone else will jump in and they'll be like, well, I think this. And it's like, but hey, I didn't really say that. That's not my perspective. It's just, it gets crazy sometimes, but I do enjoy it. It's fun.
Yeah, you kind of get like the, I appreciate your viewpoint. That doesn't mean I said it, but I appreciate your viewpoint. So,
you kind of said the quiet part out loud, but all right, I agree.
No, I completely understand that. That's where I think with this whole thing too, it's I always enjoy meeting new people and doing things like this, but at the same time, as you get going on, or maybe it's just me, I get a little more protective sometimes, and it's not like I'm better than somebody else, but like what you're just saying right there, if somebody else says something, you said that kind of a thing, and so sometimes I get a little more guarded with that. So, but as long as we're all here to have fun and talk about us or movies or whatever, I'm a king of going off the road, off the rails with conversations. So I have no problem whatsoever it going all over the place. But I understand what you are saying with if somebody throws something out there and you're one of 6 people on the panel and you're just like, wait, I didn't say that, kind of thing. But.
Oh my God. And then I also feel this, I think the biggest thing someone should always strive for when they're having shows like not just these, but just a panel show, if you want to have a group of people on, is understanding and making sure that the dynamic you're having is fun.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because the thing that people want in movies now that apparently you're not getting is people always have been saying, because I read a lot of comments where it's like they're like, hey, I go to the movies to be entertained and to escape, right? And that's the same type of mindset and logic that you should use for your own panel shows. Not you, but like anyone that wants to do this.
Absolutely.
The nature of it should be fun, because when it's not fun, then I eventually think someone will just crash out and not do it anymore. Because if you're not doing this for fun, what the hell are you even doing it for? People say money. Guys, there's no money in this at all. Just pointing it out there. I've made the money.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah, so. I've made the money doing this back in the day. It's not much.
But I have fun with it. I have fun with it.
So we're talking like we're talking like literally Trump change. Unintended Trump. Yeah, but literally Trump change, actually. Here, talking like trash money you could make at like any place, But when you first started, what was your initial goal? It's just, you were just like, I'm just gonna talk movies and that's it, and you just evolved it over time.
I guess it was one of those things. I was really nervous. I never had a problem talking with people in public. I never liked being on a stage with everybody looking at me. I'll say that right off the bat. But hey Larry, what's going on, man? But if I'm in a room with people, we're at a gathering or whatever, I'd never have a problem striking up a conversation with a new person. Like, I have a good time with that. If the spotlight's on me, I don't necessarily like that. So maybe that was a little bit of my hesitation. I did not start doing this earlier than I originally thought. I had some ideas of doing this years before I actually did.
Yeah. I had the same thing too.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, it's really easy in your head to plan out what's going to happen.
Oh, for sure.
Then when you're in front of the microphone and you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
it's time. All that just goes out the window.
I have so many jokes of I don't have it right here. So I do have a new microphone right now, but the other microphone I still love, and I'm going to use it in some other things with videos. But when I bought that, it was on this big flash sale on Amazon, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a podcast or a YouTube channel, or I'm going to get going on something. And I'm not joking. I always joke with people about this. That thing, I'm just glad the actual thing was in the box. It sat wrapped up for about 1.5 years before I even opened the box. Like, I got stage fright, I think. I was like, I'm going to do it. And
The
then
same thing happened when I started doing comic book content. Even though I
yeah,
knew everything in my head and I
yeah,
rehearsed it. I mean, I've been rehearsing these kind of video ideas in my head for years. I'm just
yeah.
like, pacing back and forth at work and stuff like that. Right when I got to doing my first pre-recorded video, I think I sat there and did 30 tries on it before I even went
Yep.
talking
No,
past
I'm
like
there,
the
man.
intro, So like I let people understand there's a learning curve when it comes to this, like talking,
Yeah.
freely, like expressing your thoughts in a way that, someone could understand them, and being able to actually have conversations. Like you said, you don't have a problem with striking conversation with a lot of people. Me neither. But when sometimes you have someone on that is like very like, hey, why do you like this movie? Well, it had Ben Affleck in it. Got any other reasons? You're like, no. It's like, well, fuck me, right?
Yeah, right. Oh, believe me, I've been there before too.
Oh, you're like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
going down the rabbit hole with this
Yep,
one.
yep.
Gotta get the bourbon out.
Yep. Nope. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't pour any for tonight. So, but yeah, no, I've been there completely before. But yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit different when putting it out on YouTube. But yeah, so for me right now, I'm just over 2 years from putting out my first video. But I will say, whether it's good or bad, I've even though I was very nervous at first, I fell in love with doing live streams like this more. And some people have even said that's why you're not growing, is because you're not doing the pre-recorded stuff and doing the edited videos. And I'm having fun with it, and I'm meeting new people, and so it's a win for me. I'm not expecting to quit my job and do this for a living. If I could, believe me, I would probably not argue too much. But
That's what's crazy is people that get to do this for a living, like, and they have support on like Patreon and a lot of these other different revenue streams. It's like, I'm not gonna. I don't know. Is this the grass is greener on the other side? Maybe. I think working does give you some sort of purpose, but once you've already did enough work, like maybe just sitting down and talking from a microphone isn't actually that bad of an idea for a
yeah,
way of making money.
yeah.
The problem is like the system is so unstable. Like YouTube recently with their weird AI system has just been taking people's channels away.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things with people who have been legitimately full timers, on
Yeah.
where they're like they're in a state of turmoil, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, which way do I need to go? How am I going to keep making a living? And that'd be a scary thing. So I hope it all works out for them, because believe me, I don't ever want anybody to be in that spot where they're
Yeah.
questioning things. But I'll say, no matter what, I know for what I do and just having fun kicking around on this, I'm not going to be quitting my job to do this. But I'm so thankful for there's been so many fun people that will just, you see some familiar names once in a while pop up in the chat and just be like, hey man, what's going on? And they'll hang out for a little bit. And I love that to death. And yeah, it keeps me jumping back on. That's why I probably went to live streams more than the pre-recorded. You get that instant feedback sometimes, where people are like,
I think people have asked like, what makes live streaming different from pre-recorded videos? Well, pre-recorded videos are a lot easier of a barrier of entry of getting into because it's literally just like not a time sink like a live stream would be. So like pre-recorded video, I just watch that. I watch it in my free time. I'm in, I'm out, it's over, I'm done. A live stream is like you're basically trying to attract somebody in a live format, and it's a hard barrier of entry for them because there's a bunch of other people already doing this, where a video is just quick and easy to do. That's why even shorts are even better now, because that's a more of a quick and easier thing for someone to hear what you're saying than just sitting down on a live stream. I just prefer longer form content. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
but I understand why people want the shorter form stuff.
It's interesting. Everybody, it just goes to your personalities or what you get drawn to. But I find that very interesting. I don't know the answer to any of that, but yeah, some people are drawn to the shorts, some are to pre-recorded long videos or short videos, some are only live streams, and I think we all just kind of have our tendencies that whatever our interest is or what holds us, you get drawn to that certain thing. It's very interesting. I don't know.
So since you collect a lot of physical media, I know you've seen all the discourse surrounding it. So I know recently from everything I've been looking at too, Best Buy, Target, Walmart to a certain degree, pretty much all the big box retailers in America, they've kind of been cutting down their physical media. Like they've been getting like less shelves, dedicated space for
Or
it.
none. Yeah.
Or none, right? And a
Mhm.
lot of people don't actually understand this too. This is a very common thing in business. I was watching Shark Tank. Holy fuck. So do you guys know when you see, let's say you go to Walmart and let's say you see these Dorito bags on a shelf, okay? You cannot, this is just how it works. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's what it is. Doritos pays for the shelf space on that shelf, okay? That's not free. You can't just put your shit in someone else's shit for free. I know Diddy would disagree, but you know, you can't just put your shit in someone else's place for free. So imagine all these movie companies paying for all this shelf space. From a business point of view, since, I mean, I guess from their point of view, if they don't see it as a good financial return, why are they paying for all this shelf space at all these big box retailers? And, you know, Walmart and Target, they're not, these are big companies here. They're not charging them what, you know, they're charging them a lot. I imagine a lot of money to put your shit there because, you know, times have changed. It's uncertainty with physical media.
There's a give
and all
and
that
take
stuff.
there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So they're paying all this money to have all this stuff on the shelves. And I just went to my local Walmart yesterday. That stuff is not selling, you know, and I like physical media too. Like I like it itself. I obviously I have books. I have movies locked up there that I don't want to take out because, you know, damages and everything. I want to touch it all. I like keeping them in nice prestige way they look, you know, but from a business point of view, I can understand it. But the problem with that is physical media kind of preserves stuff. Basically, like if the internet ever went away, well, you know, how would I watch my shit? I could, prop a DVD player in or a Blu-ray player or what people have and just play the movies and TVs there like we used to do back in the day before the internet became this big thing with streaming services, right? So I understand it from a business point of view, but the problem here is, you know, how do you, like, physical media should be preserved in some way, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a fan of it. I obviously I have some behind me. I have a
Just
you know,
some,
there's
right? Yes.
well, okay, but I'll say that I'm probably way more than some people, but I'm way less than other people. You know, but I'll say I've had an instance like that. Like some people will joke where like, oh, whatever, like, oh, that's the way you can access it. But we had a time where we had electricity, but the internet was out. There was no streaming that was going to be going on.
True.
I grabbed a movie off the shelf and we put it in the Blu-ray player and we watched it and had fun for a couple hours before that came back on. And I like being able to do that. And then there's been more stories now of streaming services editing movies to what they think should be presented today. And sometimes with the physical, you get the original, and good or bad, that's what it was. And I think it's good to do that with history too. Like, don't sugarcoat it. You learn things from the good and the bad of what we've seen and what we've gone through. And I don't think it's good to just ignore it. Because you can learn a lot of good things from the stupid things we've done in the past. And so movies too, sometimes they are I'm not going to argue with somebody when they say it's a product of the past. Okay, maybe it is, but that doesn't mean it's not a great movie. But you can also learn from some of the things from it too, to say like, yep, that was something from the past, and that's not what we're going to do going forward too. So
yeah, it's also another thing because you got like kids these days who say they don't even. You tell them that you used to buy disc and put them in another machine to watch a movie. They're like, "What the fuck?" They think movies you just click on a streaming service, hit play, and that shit should go. It's like, honey, no, that's not how it used to be.
Oh yeah.
Tell them about a VHS tape; their heads will explode. Holy crap!
I completely agree with that. We were very early adopters of. So I still stream a lot of stuff too. So I love having the physical media, but I can't buy everything. You know, money and everything, the expenses. Like you cannot buy, or I can't anyway. I'll just speak for myself. I cannot buy everything I want. So sometimes streaming services are a way that you can financially still check out a lot of things without spending as much as if you were buying every single thing. So we were very early on. We're out in the country, and so to get anything, we were on like a Dish Network or Direct TV, satellite
Mhm.
thing. That started getting more and more expensive, and there was a pretty early on time where we got faster internet out here. We cut those off and just went to streaming. And I still remember one time when, when I think we were at my my parents or something, but my
Mhm.
daughter was like, "What is this?" And they were having to sit through a commercial. Like we had all the streaming things, so you were always doing everything on demand, and you didn't have the commercials.
Yeah.
And it threw me off there for a second. I'm like, yeah, I was like, this is, what happens sometimes when you
It's
have
even
that.
crazy that on streaming services, which were supposed to be an escape from cable without the advertisers, only
Yeah,
for them to get advertisers. Because I just want to let you guys know this: if streaming was as profitable as they want to make you believe, why would you need advertisers? Why would you need commercials? The point of streaming was supposed to not have commercials, and then they go and have people advertise on their platforms, which is going to have them add commercials because they want to have those space is occupied by a lot of eyes that are going to be on watching the shows and movies. It's
well,
just odd. I just don't believe they were making that much. As much money as they say they were making, I don't believe it was a truly profitable venture for all of them. There's no way.
I
You
agree
know,
with you. I agree completely, because that's also why you see the prices of those monthly subscriptions go up
they've only
every
just gone
single.
up. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Apple TV Plus was like what $3.99. To be fair, everyone knew that wasn't going to stay, but originally it was $4.99. Now
Oh,
it's like going to be almost like $10 for that.
well, and that's like, shoot, like now it's completely gone now. But I was earlier, one of the first live TV streamings I had was PlayStation View. So,
Really.
yeah, yeah. So that's kind of like a YouTube TV today, but
Mhm.
high end, it was like 25 bucks. When we had,
Crazy. Yeah.
yeah, for all the live TV and the ESPN and the sports and everything. And Netflix at the time, I started with them when they were mailing me DVDs in the mail,
I remember that.
and I'd have
Yeah.
to return it before. But even when they switched over to streaming, gosh, it was under $20. It was like 15 bucks or something. It was
Yeah. For
so.
the main package, it was like 20, at least about 15, $20.
Oh,
I remember. Yeah.
absolutely. And so it's very easy to jump into that and be like, this is awesome because, or at least for us anyway, the faster internet that we had to pay for, we had to have it for other reasons
Right.
anyway. So it wasn't like we were only
Mhm.
getting that for that. If that was the only reason you're going to pay for faster internet, then, you got to take that into account. But we needed it for other reasons. But man, at that time, it made it a no brainer for us. But yeah, just every year it's creeped up.
The Horror Cat Dad. I think they've been on your channel before.
Yeah, Larry. Yeah, that's Larry. He's a
This is
cool dude. Yeah.
and there's another lady I've seen on your channel too. Is that his wife?
I don't think his wife has been on
Maybe I
mine.
think of
What,
another
do you
person. Oh, it's
remember
the
the
Horror
name?
Girl. It's like Horror Girl or her name, something like that. God, I forget names. Why do I forget every name? And I'm old now, man. It
No,
hurts.
it's all right. It's probably wasn't his wife, but there's some fun. I have some great horror with Nads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, not related. They know each other, but yeah, no connection there, like other than that. But yeah, she's a sweetheart and great person. But like I said, this has been such a fun thing. I've had so many unexpected positive things with jumping into the YouTube thing. We're meeting people that I never would have met before.
Yeah.
And you get some different perspectives, and that's a
Mhm.
good thing, It's but
He said, speaking of physical media, I noticed you can buy movies from Best Buy online now.
yeah,
Wasn't
they
there a thing with Amazon where they said if you buy a movie digitally on their website, you don't actually own it? Something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that's the biggest difference with physical media is you actually own the product, you
Yep.
know?
And that's a big argument there too. And
Mhm.
it's not just Amazon.
Yeah.
There's all the digital like Fandango or Movies at
Mhm.
Home, or they're saying you're basically buying a license for now
Mhm.
of that digital movie, and it could go away. And that's tough for me to swallow too, because I've bought quite a few digitally as well, because sometimes they just have some crazy deals, and they're like,
Yeah.
maybe it's a movie that's not easily available on physical, and it's like, okay, you can get it on eBay for 60 bucks, but digitally it's 3.99. I'm like, well, I kind of want to watch it, and 3.99 sounds a little better to me, and so I've done that. I'll admit that I've done that quite a few different times, but I think they have a lot of legal language in their clauses where it's like you have rights to it for now until we tell you you don't, kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
And that's the thing that they
yeah.
want to have. They want to have that total control over it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were using that same lingo with like video games. It's like,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
kind of just renting it from us. I
yeah,
paid physical money to own this. What are you fucking talking about? I
yeah,
rent this.
exactly.
'Cause if this is how you know someone is truly retarded. Renting and owning obviously have two different types of terminology when you're buying anything. You
Yeah,
know?
completely. I would say that's so different in my mind, and I think it should be completely separate. I have nothing
Yeah,
against streaming services, but
yeah.
if you subscribe to a monthly thing to Netflix, well, you know, from month to month, you have to
Yeah.
pay that dollar amount
Right.
to be able to keep on seeing whatever they have on the
Right.
service. I have no problem with that. They're
Mhm,
providing the service, and you have to decide whether that dollar amount is, worth it for you or not.
mhm.
But when you get to even purchasing digital copies, in my mind, then it's like different. And I know they don't want to treat it differently and they want to be able to have the right to pull it back if something goes different with their licensing and things. But once you pay a dollar amount and say, like, I have the movie and it's not a subscription to like a Netflix, to me, that's different. But I know corporate America looks at it, or the movie industry, or whatever you want to say, looks at it
Yeah.
differently than that.
It's also disgustingly cringe that they go to CinemaCon every single year and say how much we love the theaters and how much we want to preserve the theater experience when they're actively doing actions that are destroying the theatrical experience. Namely, Bob
Mm.
Chapek, for one, was one of the biggest guys of doing it. Warner Brothers were like, you know what, Bob Chapek, I know you're just absolutely just straight up trying to kill it. We're just gonna do it even bigger. We're gonna release all our big movies for 2021 day and date release. Universal did it with a
Yeah.
lot of their movies
Well,
too. You know, I just, it's so weird how people will like, weirdly shill for them on everything. Like, I understand defending them on some stuff. I get it from a business point of view on some stuff, but there's these people on like Twitter or Instagram where they just defend these guys on everything. It's like, you're not getting paid, right? I think these people truly want to get like these invites to like these movie premieres
they're
early.
trying. They're trying.
Yeah, like, bro, it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I want a free ticket.
Like, not all of us can be a Grace Randolph. That's how it works.
I agree with you completely.
I
I
love
will
me some
say,
Grace Randolph. She is completely insane. I love her for that.
oh, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. I love that. I
The
love that.
shit she says is absolutely so stupid. My brain can't comprehend it. So I just choose to just not ignore it, but I go, you know what? That's the reason why I'm not married. Man, couldn't hear a woman say that and be like, you're a serious person. She literally said, just today, she was like, she said Batman is really popular because of the other female characters around him. And I was like, all right, okay, just what in the hell? What? Thank God we have Grace Randolph.
Agree to disagree on that
Yes.
one. So.
Not disagreeing. I'm scrolling past.
Yeah,
I don't even care. She was like, the Avengers, they need more women because of LGBTQ people. Those are big audiences. Yeah, they sure are. They sure were. Where were they at with the Marvels? That movie freaking failed out the wazoo, you know?
Well, and that's where I don't know. I won't go into all that. I'm not saying you can't have that, but at the same time, like, don't like lean too heavy into one thing just because you want to push something, and if it's not really there,
Yeah,
kind of a
it's also
thing.
a target audience thing too. It's like superhero. I know people don't like accepting these kind of logics when it comes to this stuff. Movies in general is for like all types of people, but if you're talking like specific genres of things, like let's say superhero genre, that is geared towards dudes. That is geared towards men from the ages of like anywhere between 13 to like 65. So,
and that's
what?
I was just gonna say that's not to say that women can't enjoy them either.
Right,
so,
right,
and
yeah,
I believe
yeah.
you're not saying that either. But
Yeah.
if you look at who's going to buy tickets for that, the majority, I think you're right on of who's going to be.
Because any business, you know this too. Because I'm pretty sure you I don't know what you do in your personal life for a job. Someone said you were a trucker or whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I love that though. I'll go with that. I'm a trucker now.
Good Lord. See, white guy, bald cap trucker,
I got a cap and a big white beard. I'm a trucker now. I love that.
What a lot of people don't get when it comes to business, just basic stuff. You need to establish what is a core demographic that is going to buy your products, because that is a constant stream of income you get because they are your dedicated customers, right? It's not saying that women have never liked this stuff, like Star Wars or any of this stuff, but they are a minority when it comes to it. And a lot of them just liked it the way it was. Then there's this other minority, and that minority that say it was always toxic and misogynistic, and we needed women to run everything. You know what? The MCU did have women run a lot of it, and now it's failing. Gee, you put women in charge of something and it all fails. Sounds poetic, right?
Well, and I would say it's not. It doesn't mean you can't try different things and to bring new audiences into it, but like don't hate the people who got you where you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that. And like I said, that doesn't mean don't try new things, don't go outside of the box. Definitely do that, because we can get some great new ideas and like some new characters and some new people to really like fall in love with and follow. But just don't completely turn your back on the people who kept it going. There were some lean years for comic book heroes, and like, man, like I'm old enough when Batman 89 came out. That was a pretty big deal because it was like there was not much. Like Superman, Christopher Reeve's Superman was like but there was not much before that, and then it was even lean after
unless you
that
count the Adam West Batman TV show. But
I'll say that too.
Most people just don't even like that, and most people that even sort of kind of consider it good is just because it's weirdly campy and cringe. That's it. No one tells you about the story in that show, because pretty sure that what story? There was shark repellent. So
there was some goofy stuff in that. I watched quite a few of those, but so I love them trying different things and to bring new audience in, because that's how you survive. I mean, whatever industry you're in, you want to grow, and so you want to reach people that maybe aren't your core audience, but don't neglect your core audience that got you to where you're at, but then still reach out and do things that can bring new people in and have new characters and new things that you've never had before. You can I like to think you could do both. But
and then if you have your core audience that likes what your franchise is offering, then it's the whole saying back in the day, tell a friend, you tell a friend kind of thing. Those people will tell other people, hey, you should really get into this, you should really get into this. But that only comes from satisfying your core customers and not having the people that run the companies. You have like producers and writers or actors go, all of you we actually secretly always never liked you, and you're actually just the worst people on this planet. They're probably not gonna be willing to go and support you anymore. So I think there needs to be a level of like I don't know, respect, because if you don't have these fans that pay for the stuff, these actors and writers, and they don't have careers, guys. Without fans, that's it. People can shit on Michael Bay all he wants. Michael Bay has a big dedicated fan base. They'll go watch anything he puts out.
Well, he's made some money over the years.
I've never heard him shit on. I've never heard him shit on any fan ever, because he knows if that's tried that, it'd be like, okay, Michael, you make Transformers. You shitting on someone is laughable in and of itself. But there should be this like, hey, I'm here to do what I want to do, but I'm trying to make it the best experience for you. That should be the mindset they should have. But recently now, I hope theaters survive, man. I really hope they do. But
I do too. I see them doing some different things to try to survive. At least I'm in a smaller market, and so many have closed over the years. But I can definitely see them trying some new things, which I appreciate, because I can understand. Like, you need to get, if you're gonna have a big building you're paying for sitting there, you gotta have people coming through the door and buying a ticket or a pop or a popcorn or something, like to keep the doors open and the lights on. But it's I think they're going to have to be more creative. I've seen with ours anyway, not to go on a whole other tangent, but bringing in live sporting events or
that's not a bad idea.
Or classic movies, or things that like maybe there was one you never got to see in the theater because you either wasn't born or you were too young or whatever,
Yeah.
or didn't get to see it, and they'll bring it back out again. Jaws had the anniversary release of that. I think that beat out a ton of new movies that was coming out.
What a great movie. 50
Yeah.
years for that.
Yeah.
That is for me one of my favorite movies ever. I love that movie.
So I think that it's being creative like that. Like, still have the new stuff. We got to have the new stuff to keep it going, but mix in some of that, like, because so many people that would love that movie were probably not even alive when it came out, and they can see it on the big screen. And I think it's just so much different. No matter how nice our TVs are at home, it's different with a big screen like that. But then ours around us, I've seen them like throwing out boxing matches or UFC pay-per-views or college football games of colleges that are around, like, I just think they got to be creative with that and really mix things up to get people coming in the door. And maybe they'd, come back for another movie if they like the place. So
Horror Cat Dad says, I don't think it's women that messed up Star Wars. You'd be surprised. It's the management that legit don't care about Star Wars. Same with the people they put in charge. I think that actually just goes hand in hand. I just don't think the women that are in charge care about it in the same way that they say they do. Because, like, there's a reason why women have this weird stigma around them when it comes to like nerd fandoms, is because you can easily spot a person who's just like fake. You would say like a fake gamer girl or a fake anything. You'll be like, well, what's your favorite Batman movie? They'll be like, I like the one where he was running around. All right, okay, all right.
I agree with you, but I could say that about guys too. Like, yeah. So but okay, to your point, I would say it's the fake fans of it that are trying to make a buck off of it. Maybe that was the problem. Men, women, whatever, like, they're just like, oh, I can do something that's going to cash in here. And they might have made a misstep on some of those where it did not work out for them. So yeah, that's unfortunate, especially when you got
ego trips these guys get too.
Where
it's like they could have used all of this extra stuff for Star Wars, extended universe books. You also have the Dark Horse comic books where it continued the series after Return of the Jedi and all that stuff. They had other great stories that happened during then. They're like, you know what? None of that matters. We have no other things to pull from it, which is just a straight up lie. She was like, I only really hire women because I want to make sure I'm putting women in charge. Something like that. Remember she had that interview a long time ago where she was like, men call me more, but I like always hiring women more. And it's like, what are you doing? And it's crazy because she has a long filmography of producer credits and all that stuff. So it's crazy how people call her like she got carried. Was she really giving Steven Spielberg any like pointers on a lot of those movies? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe. Who knows?
I just think when you're in that position, you want to bring fans in and make money. I could care less. Or wait, that's probably not the way to say. I couldn't care less of what gender you were or what color you were, what your background. Like, if you got creativity and you want to come in here and you bring something to the table and we bring fans in and get them excited and bring it, like, I don't care. And so I always think that's kind of weird when you're just like, nah, they're good, but I'm gonna go with that one because
just gonna go with women, just purely based off the fact that they're women.
But not even just women. There's like all kinds of things. You could say like, oh, I only want a man, like, oh, there's a man right there. I'm gonna take
my chat tells me all the time they think I'm gay. I like hanging out with men more. They're like, oh, you're just gay. I was like, all right, okay, all right,
whatever. Yeah, whatever.
But it's when you
make sure to hit the like button, and
it's like when you hear that stuff, that's a huge red flag. It's like you don't even really probably even like these people you're hiring. You're just hiring just because it fills a quota, as they call it.
Yeah, and I don't even care what quota you're trying to. It's just like, bring in the best person for it, and I don't care who they are. It's just like look at what the fan base wants. Look at the history, especially in franchises like that. Look at the history of it. And how can you? Oh man, that's what's crazy. Is I still I'm hopeful for Star Wars. That was one I grew up with, and I think they've had, and maybe I'm being polite, but like missteps along the way.
I heard a girl tell me once she liked the ones with Adam Driver. Not even Kylo, just Adam Driver. That's how you can tell people aren't paying attention. Not even that. I think that's the problem with media literacy that is just so weird when you talk with people about movies.
Yeah.
I sometimes truly think someone's not paying attention enough. Like, because they'll be like, why was this not explained or said? It was, you just aren't paying attention.
Yeah.
And then they'll have an avid stance that it wasn't explained, tell you why it wasn't explained. They'll be like, no, it's right here. And then they'll tell you you're egotistical. Oh, okay, I'm egotistical, but you say you're not wrong. You're not. Okay, all right. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Johnson is a man, and then The Last Jedi happened. That's true. Yeah. But I would ask you a few more things. So the first thing is, like, if you had a top 5 movies of all time, what would be there? What would be like your Mount Rushmore?
I'm horrible at this, and I know I get a lot of grief. I can't do. I'll throw out some I like, but you could ask me like 6 months from now, and I could tell you different ones.
Yeah,
and you can tell me I'm a fake at that point or whatever. Like some people do, but
only if you said you like trap.
No,
like, okay, all right.
I'm horrible at like I'm horrible at like top 5 lists. I don't know. I love doing this thing, but that's like my kryptonite, I guess, if you're gonna like pull it into superheroes and stuff. But so just off the top of my head, some that I'll always say I enjoy, but whether I say I'm top 5 or not. Shawshank Redemption. I know people roll their eyes at me because they're like, oh, everybody says Shawshank, but I saw it in the theater. That's one I really enjoyed. I still to this day can throw it in and watch it. Heat, De Niro and Al Pacino. That is another one saw in the theater, really enjoy, can go back to. But I can also throw out things like I still have great memory. Nostalgia plays a big part in some of my favorites. So one I remember going seeing with my kids when they were very young was the animated How to Train Your Dragon. So love that one. I can watch that to this day and just remember hanging out with them, seeing that in the theater. I'm at 3 now.
How to Train Your Dragon. Oh my god. I remember I went over to break up with my ex-girlfriend Christmas in 2020, and she put on the How to Train Your Dragon little Christmas special where the dragons went out. And, I wasn't gonna tear up, but I was like, nope, not doing it.
I'm sorry.
No. I really because I never really watched those movies, but I watched the Christmas special they did. It was so adorable. I can see why I feel like it's so adorable the way they treat the little dragons. I think it's cool.
No, I think it's really good too. And oh my gosh, that like just leans into, I feel like I have that gift of like, hey, how's your dog doing? And somebody's like, oh, they died last week. I'm like that guy that I always say the thing that I shouldn't say. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'll throw out there. I got to throw out RoboCop. Growing up,
the original.
Yeah. RoboCop, Peter Weller. The original RoboCop. That is one I had a poster on my wall for a long time. Probably saw it younger than I was supposed to, but I loved sci-fi growing up, and that definitely leaned into that. Try to mix it up a little bit. What am I at 4? I got a stack of movies here too. I'm cheating. I'm trying to look at
I gotta put some stuff away.
Yeah, exactly, with the RoboCop. But that would definitely be up there. I got to throw a Schwarzenegger in there. I grew up with that. Honestly, great one. I would be fine with that, but I was gonna go with Predator. But,
Predator. Great movie that holds up so well. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with that for this time. You'll ask me the next time we hang out.
Predator Badlands.
I have not yet. I need to see that. I need.
Yeah,
I do. I'm
behind. That. I need to see Prey, that anthology one they did, and then Badlands. I've seen the other ones already. Man, that Shane Black one was certainly a movie of all time. Truly a movie to experience, and then not potentially hang yourself after watching it. So, good Lord. That's what I loved about Morbius, because that movie was so bad.
I've never seen that. I've never seen it.
The meme from it was a movie of all time, truly cinema of ever. It was the funniest way to shit on a movie that it's not just directly shitting on a movie. Oh, I loved it. Thank God Morbius came out. Woo! Man, I've been using that line forever. But
with my list, I will say, I've had like, I'm not wrapping anything up, but like I'm having a lot of fun hanging out with you. Hopefully we'll get to hang out some more. But the next time you tell me or ask me for my list, don't get mad at me if I come up with like
I'll probably
completely
forget,
fine.
honestly.
But honestly, there are ones I like, but I'm horrible at the like, oh, this is my top 5. But I definitely love those. And anytime I'll say I'll still love those movies.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to come up with another list in the future, I might name
So the
some
next
other
list
ones
has Catwoman, Jack and Jill,
Morbius.
Good lord, Jack and Jill. Anybody doesn't know what Jack and Jill is, don't watch it. That is still for me. That might actually be top 2 worst movie ever made. That movie is horrible. You know those movies that were made
I didn't finish it.
You know those movies that were made in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. Those movies were something. They had that weird dark color palette to them. They were just, oh my god. Yep. Everything was 3D. It's like, yep. All right. What do you guys tell me about all these Ds you want? There's women that have 2 Ds and now you want 3 Ds. It's like, oh, okay. Then they made Avatar with what's weird. You had Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they had Avatar with blue people. Honestly.
Yeah. So the Avatar animated series is the one I actually have dug into more because that was actually one my son really got into when he was younger, and that was one that I got watching with him. So I actually really enjoy. I'll say that right too. The animated Avatar, the Airbender, not the movie. We were disappointed with the movie. I'll say that.
Disappointed. That's an understatement.
Yeah, I was trying to be polite. But,
it was crazy. I remember when 2020 was about to roll around, at least for the first month before the COVID thing happened, they voted that movie the worst movie the last decade. You know how much crap came out in that 10-year time span?
Okay. We were disappointed, because I remember my son was so excited that was coming out, and we went and saw it. We were disappointed with it, but man, to say that was the worst
of the 10 years from 2010 to 2020,
I
don't know about that.
I can't say that. I'm going to say no to that.
There's no way because man, I don't know. I have to really watch.
I got to go back and look at all the movies.
I got to dig in my brain.
There's got to be some worse than that.
Because that's the worst one. We were in bad territory heading down the road, you know.
Yeah, no, there's got to be worse ones than that. I'd have to go back and look at everything that was released then, but I didn't feel that bad other than just disappointed because we really
they can't be worse than The Happening. Well, but The Happening came out in 2008. Like if The Happening, that was truly an awful movie. Like I don't know what I even watched there. Was it Wind and Plants for the photosynthesis was the villain? I don't even know.
I don't even know if I saw that one. I gotta remember now. It's ringing a bell. But
and like Zoe Deschanel when they were trying to make her a thing. Oh God.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I did not see that one. I did not.
I would say you don't need to.
Okay, you just saved me a couple hours.
You would essentially be losing time on your life you won't get back.
So I should just say thank you and move on.
If you do watch it, you might do what they did in that movie, the first part of it. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, from what you're talking like, I don't want to do that.
They might commit fratricide. We'll say that.
We'll just not do that. We'll not do that. So no, I never seen that one. But
man, do you remember when Netflix tried putting out all these movies that they try to get a lot of mainstream appeal? It's weird because with streaming, it doesn't feel like the movies ever hit the same level of upper echelon thresholds that a movie would happen to come out in the theaters. Actually, I mean, like Patty Jenkins had talked about this before Wonder Woman 1984 came out, which was unfortunate. She said that streaming movies, when she hear about them, they're kind of like a ghost town. And I agree. Like when you hear about a good streaming movie, it feels like it just doesn't hit the same level of conversation that everything else does. At least it was in a theater. Because like when you see a horrible movie in the theater, it sticks in your brain because you have to actively go out and watch it and seek it out. And maybe you didn't know it was going to be a bad movie until you watched it. But with like streaming, if you drop a bad movie on streaming, really no harm, no foul. You play it, it's bad, you just move on. You just mindlessly consume it. It's over. You know, different with streaming, obviously, and theater experience. Yeah,
I can see that for sure. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more commitment going to the theater, but then I'll also say that's where some on the good side got a lot more traction back in older times too. Me being the old guy talking about that, but where if you didn't see it in the theater, you weren't going to watch it for another 6 months to a year before it came out on like rental or something. And now that's where I know I'm not smarter than a lot of these CEOs of a lot of things, but it just like sometimes I just shake my head of like, why are you putting it onto a streaming service so fast? Like there's some that like, man, you don't get out to the theater in with a week or two, it's gone now. And then in another week or two, it's on some streaming service. And then you're wondering why ticket sales are bad, you know, and I don't know. Maybe I'm simplifying.
Yeah, it's literally a movie will come out and it's gone in 3 weeks. Unless it's a Disney movie. Disney movies typically stay in a little bit longer, but even that is like a far cry from what used to happen for when it used to stay, you know? All right, the last few things I'll ask you is the first thing, which is, do you have anything planned coming up for the rest of 2025 going into 2026 you want to let the audience know about?
Oh, sure. I'm still kind of got some things. I'm kind of the fly by the seat of my pants kind of person. So, you know, like sometimes it's just getting put together as we go along and some things can pop up. But I will say that first of all, I will say thank you very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you.
Yeah, anytime, man. Yeah.
I'd love to hang out with you again. I'd love to have you come over on mine too and hang out if you ever feel like doing that.
Yeah, we just gotta set it up. You gotta just give me a date and a time, and I'll see if I can make it happen. Most likely will.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's
unless my wife comes home and drags me outside.
Well, you know, that can happen to me too. So so we're on the same page. So
and my wife is a sock or a couch to spend the day, honestly.
Oh gosh.
Don't worry, guys, they're not crusty. Don't worry. I'm not that degenerate. They have to sit here because I use them. So man.
Oh my gosh, you made me laugh there. So things coming up. Okay, not to change the subject, but you made me snort too. So I got a couple friends we're gonna be hanging out with. I know next week Off the Cover, he's a good guy over on the 11th. We're gonna be hanging out his channel. Don't know the topic yet, but always a good time. The 13th, my good friend Sam and Brendan, Our Life in Horror, they're going to be doing almost like a 10 or 12 hour live stream to do a fundraiser for some things there. And I'm going to be jumping on about 11 a.m. Central Time to hang out with them for a little while. But yeah, a few other things coming up. I won't bore you with everything, but yeah, I got if anybody's interested in hearing me jabber more, I am usually pretty good about posting things on my YouTube community chat posts there of things coming up. So if you ever want to watch that or see anything else I'm doing, I'll try to post things out there on what's going on. So yeah. How about you? You got any big you've been rolling, man.
Everyone knows my plans. I'm here every day.
I was gonna say you've been rolling. I've seen you interviewing people. I see you playing games. I see you like
we're here 7 days a week.
Oh my gosh, man!
Every week, 24 hours.
Working.
Another weekend. Another year in.
You having fun with it still? I mean,
I just have fun. That's really all it is. I only would do it if I had fun. If I didn't have fun, I would just quit.
Why? Yeah, why would you do it then?
Because the thing is, for me, I always just look at it like, you know, people say, I see you streaming all the time. Well, guys, I do have a job. Like, internet doesn't pay for itself. Streaming does not pay for itself. I do have a job, obviously.
Unfortunately, it doesn't.
You know, it's just for me, I just, you know, if I'm bored, I would just stream. Because, like, there's nothing else to do. I already have a life that's good. Like, what else do I need to do? Like, you know, probably should do more things, right? But if I'm just sitting here bored, why shouldn't? There's no reason not to stream, you know? Well, if I didn't stream, I would be just playing by myself, which is, you know, what I used to do back in the day when I was game. So might as well just stream for people.
I've done that sometimes too, where I was like, it's completely different than what I normally did. But I was going to go on and play a game, even if I thought it was kind of goofy. But I was like, you know what? I'll just live stream it, and if somebody pops in and wants to talk for a little bit too while I'm playing it, you know, I'll go for it. But so I see you streaming games. I won't keep you too much longer. I don't want to like drag you too long, but what do you get into to streaming, like gaming wise? Or...
I might actually stream Marvel Cosmic Invasion very soon. It looks like one of those 4v4 kind of like 2D fighters where you just battle the enemies with buddies and move to the next level. That'd be the next game I play. My friend got me Street Fighter 6, so I should be playing that very soon. Nice. I primarily just for right now play League and Master Duel because that's like the thing I can make a series out of. I did play 2XK, which is the League of Legends fighting game, but that shit hurts my wrist when I play because it's just, oh god, my wrist hurts too bad when I play this freaking games. I have so many that I haven't played yet, but I played these back in the day when I had console too. Let me bring up my Steam page right now. Holy crap!
What do
is
you?
in there?
Okay, you said Steam. I was going to ask what you play on a lot of. So I have a PC and I do a lot of on Steam as well. I'm not a big gamer, but I have so much fun doing it.
So I have all the Arkham games because those were on sale. I know they had that.
Gosh.
Remember they had that summer sale like
yeah.
months ago. I got all the Arkham games summer sale.
Steam is so great to follow. They had over the years they've had so many great sales where, and that's the thing too. If you don't mind waiting a little bit of time, there's some AAA games you can get for dollars.
Yeah, I have Sonic Generations.
Yeah,
I have. We could play. Oh, we have Uno. We have Uno. Yes, DLC. And Apex.
Yeah, I play Uno, man. I
need to play the Spider-Man remastered. I need to play that.
Oh, I saw that was one I was just looking at too because they had the Miles Morales one for sale.
Yeah,
that I was trying to look at.
It probably is going to be for sale. Left 4 Dead 2. I know I own that. I have the Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker Lego. Oh my god, the kid in me just bought that.
You want to get that one?
I had to, even though I have Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel Snap. That's I didn't really enjoy that honestly. I have Hollow Knight. I need to add in a
Hollow Knight's good, but it's hard.
I have the first one
anyway. Yeah, there's the Silk. What's the new one? Silk
Song.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I have Town of Salem. That was actually pretty fun. That's basically like Among Us, but if you were like in the Salem witch trial point of view, like they're trying to find a witch, and oh my god, I had friends that crashed out so hard when we were playing that. There's Path of Exile. There's Shower with Your Dad, 2015.
Oh,
do you still shower with your dad?
No.
Yeah.
Oh. I was actually getting grief because I was playing. I ended up streaming it a few times. I might still again, but it was Power Washer Simulator.
Oh, I heard of that. Yeah, I heard. There's the same one for like I've seen another one.
There's a second one. There's a new one that just came out, but I only have the original one because it was on sale, and people are making fun of it. And I'm like, hey, don't. I don't blame you. I was teasing about it too, and I started playing it. I'm like, I don't know why, but and then like one night I'm just playing it. I'm like, I'll just go live.
There was
people are jumping in there and saying, hey,
it's the simulator where you pretend to be a shopping cart cashier. Yeah. It's like I have no clue why people would want to pretend in the video game to be a cashier. No one likes doing that in real life. Gaming is so weird, but that's fine. I love how people can just enjoy a different version of what life they would think they have. Let that wrist rest. Jim overworks you. It's not. I don't have sex with men. Good lord, if people are weird in this chat, don't pay attention to people. Wait until this guy sees how you act during panel streams. I'm a normal person on panel streams. I'm a completely normal person. I have
what do you prefer? It's not a good or bad thing, but what do you prefer? Like one-on-one like this or a panel?
Sometimes one-on-ones are a little bit more easier because you can have more of a cohesive dialogue and thought process with someone. But on panel shows, you do get to go through a lot of more news subjects, which I do also prefer sometimes too. Like going through the news is something I really enjoy. Just talking about the newest things coming up. It's just like I said before. Ask me any different day, I'll probably have a different answer. Like, but one-on-ones, I originally started with those to do this.
Yeah. I like it because it was kind of a cool way to get to be like, oh, that person looks cool. Like you can get to know them a little better, and like just the two of you go back and forth. I love panels too, but I there's like a balancing point of how many people and then talking over each other. Like sometimes it's and I'm just as guilty of it. So I'm not saying somebody else is worse than me, but it's the more people you get. There's a balancing act with that. I'll just say that. So,
you had Lana Del Fear on your channel.
Yeah, sweetheart. She's great.
I know I messaged some of the people you had on your show. Just let them know that I messaged them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Pretty killer.
I've not had her on my channel in a long time. I'd love to. She's a great one. I'll say she's very fun to hang out with. Great personality, easy to talk to. So yeah, no, definitely I would do that. But
I'll just let you know on Instagram.
Do it. Do it.
I messaged a lot of people. They haven't hit me back yet. They're probably ignoring me because I'm just I'm just insane.
No, I wouldn't say it's that. I think some people, and I've run into this too, where I don't get responses from people. I reach out to a lot of people too because I love meeting new people. And then if you get that one that clicks, I'll be like, hey, you want to come back again? You
Yeah,
know, like
yeah.
no pressure, but you know, and you know, like a couple months later, you hang out again and have a fun time hanging out. But I've had that too. So I'm always telling myself not to take it personal, but
Oh,
sometimes
I
when
know.
it's
I just joking.
oh no, but
Yeah.
okay, but I'll say just myself personally, like the first couple times I'm like, what did I do? You know, like what's wrong with my channel? You know,
Because
kind
like
of a
you
thing.
can't even tell, because like with the way Instagram works now, if you message someone, I don't even know if they've read it until they've actually maybe like hit their requests for
That's the
messages they've
thing.
seen.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. There's a lot of people that with Instagram where they might not even see it because I've had that before where
Yeah.
if you're not following each other,
Mhm.
it goes into the other like request section. And sometimes you don't
Because it's
really get notified of that. And I've had ones where I reached out to somebody, we ended up hanging out and having a great time, but it was like 3 weeks later, and I'm like, sorry, man. I was not ignoring this. Didn't see it, you know,
Mhm.
like come through.
Like
But anyway, I was just gonna say that I think anymore with some of these, it's just people are they still want to hang out, meet new people, and do things, but at the same time, it's just kind of like maybe it's easier when they've know somebody that's done
yeah.
something with them before, or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
there's just a little. Like I said, I've had it before too. I've had somebody say like, I don't know if your channel's my thing. And I'm like, that's cool. But I was like, that's cool. That's okay. You know, like
Yeah.
seriously. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of like all over like what we were doing tonight. I had so much fun doing this, but I'm all over the place and talking about whatever. And some people want a different format, you know, for it. And
Yeah.
so I honestly I didn't take it personally. I'm just like, yeah, that's cool. But if anything ever
Also,
changes, reach out to
so
me, you know, kind of a thing, you
yeah,
know.
I'll message you the people that I wanted to have on, because I remember I had on like you said Zombie Girl would come on. I know I messaged her.
She's a great friend. She was honestly, she was the very first guest on a live stream on my
I
channel.
remember. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
a year ago. Holy crap, that's
Or
crazy.
almost like 2 years ago, I
You had
think.
on
I've had
let's
her
see.
on probably a year ago too. I've had her on a few
You
times,
had
but
Nerdy Film Girl on.
she's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a good one. Um
You had the
I
guy that has the James Cameron podcast.
oh yeah. Fans of something.
Yeah.
But honestly, I want to knock on something, like knock on wood. I've had nothing but good experiences with people I've had on my channel. So
Mhm.
honestly, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
if you look down through mine, anybody I had one-on-ones with, especially,
Yeah.
um, I've had I've been very, very lucky. I think there've been great people. Every single person I've had a one-on-one on my channel, I would
Mhm.
do another one again and again with them. I all of them are cool enough and nice enough. Like they're easy to talk to, and I think that they're ones that I could just, you know, if as long as they don't mind being bugged by me, I'm like, you know, like, you know, a month or two passes, like, hey, you want to come back on and talk about new movies that have come out, or um, I've had a very great um I I love the run that I've had on of one-on-ones that I've had on my channel. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
because I know you do lunch breaks.
Yeah, that's just me being jabbery for a long
If
time.
you're having lunch breaks, you can come home and talk about stuff. Good lord, that's fun.
um Honestly, those are the days I get to work from home. So and if I go long, people have made comments about that, but with my job,
Mhm.
if I go long, I just work longer. Like
Yeah.
the hours even out. So, but I've had people be like, gosh, what kind of job you have? You went over an hour, you know. I'm like, well, I'm blessed enough where it's just in I put my hours in. I'll just say that.
Are you ever gonna
So
have your mom on a stream again? I know you did one of those with
yeah, I
her.
want to. Oh gosh, yeah.
You probably should have your
I
dad on then, if you got one
oh,
with
I
your
don't know if
mom.
he. I don't know if he would do it. I don't know. Well, I was surprised my mom did. I'll say that for a fact, but
Gotta
because
have the follow-up with your mom. That's
yeah,
crazy
well,
having a
I got to do it because I've actually had people message me and be like, "When are you gonna have your mom on again?" And she was like getting a kick out of it. I told her I was like, you know
yeah.
what? People want to see you again. She's like, really? The day I did that, I went down to visit her
Mhm.
and I went to their house and I didn't think she was going to be there for another 2
Mhm.
hours. So I brought out my laptop and stuff, and I'm like, I'll just go online and stream for a little bit.
Yeah.
She got there way early, and I joked. I was like, "Oh, I guess you got to go live with me now." And she was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Really?"
Okay.
And I'm like, "Okay." So yeah, we sat out on her porch and did that, and we had a good talk, and people had fun with it. So yeah, it's funny. I've told her many times that I've had multiple people say, "When are you having mom on again?" So it will
So
happen. It will happen.
the other two of the last things I want to ask. The first one is,
Yeah,
if you had to pick a one-on-one that would be your favorite, one that you would always recommend to people, which one would it be throughout all of them?
that I've had on my channel.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's
No,
hard.
I was like putting you're like, he's playing favorites, but there was always the ones that you always enjoy more than the other. It's just
Um, so okay, this is me cheating. I will say some names here, but this is me cheating, but
hmm,
honestly, I was being completely honest. When I said earlier, I did say this.
mhm,
Everybody that I had one-on-ones with on my channel, I would do it again in a heartbeat. I've had such a great time
mhm.
with the people I've met and had on my channel, and been very blessed that there have been great people and had a good time with and just clicked and went on. You brought out Zombie Girl Ashley. I'll always remember her. She was the very first time I asked somebody to be on my channel, and they said yes,
Hmm.
and they came on. So like you always joke, you remember your first, right? Um,
Yeah, that's true.
so,
Yep. That
but
first person that says I'll do it, you're like, I
yeah,
finally made it.
no, I honestly, I think it was one of those moments where I asked her and she said yes, and I said, "Really? Like, do you want to check my channel out a little more or something like not that I do anything bad, but it was one of those like,
And then
really?
once
You
you
really?
build up like a nice catalog, as they call
Yeah.
him, you can show people, hey, I'm legit. This is real. This is what I've had.
Well, and I've said that to people too, and I honestly mean this. And there's been people that have gone either way with this. I say, if you don't know who I am, here's my channel. You can go out and look at. I have
Yeah.
videos out there. If you want to check some of them out, see if it's your thing or not. No worries. But there's some stuff out there now with Ashley. She just took a leap of faith. She was a sweetheart for.
I think I had
Um,
one bad interaction. Was like I tried to get someone on the show, and he was like, I don't want to come on because I don't know you. It's like, what? Of
Well, and
course.
but
Yeah.
I've had that too where so as I've had more, so she
Mhm,
totally took a leap of faith because I did not have any other live streams with anybody, and so um thank you to her. But later ones, as you get more of them, not that I'm a
mhm.
professional, but there's more. I would always throw out there, I'm like, here's my channel. You can go out there, look at it, see if it's your thing. If not, no worries. And I've had times where people have said, I don't know if that's my thing. Thank you for asking. And I've said, no worries. If it ever changes, just let me know. And other people are like, yeah, sign me up. When are we going to do it? And um, no hard feelings either way. But I think people have different ideas of what they want to do on this. I'm
Mhm.
more, like I said, I'm not expecting to replace my day job and do this, but I just have a fun time. It's a good outlet for me. I love talking about or I can talk about anything, but like movies, music, or anything we get into, you don't have to twist my arm too hard to do
Mhm.
it. So, um, I've had so I'll throw Ashley out there. She was the first one, and bless her heart for taking a leap of faith of somebody that I had like 2 videos out before that, no live streams, and she still said yes and came out and did that. So love her to death for that. But I'd say anybody that I've had on my channel,
Mhm.
I've had really good experiences. So I know that can change, but so far
Yeah.
I've been very, very blessed with that. So.
So last thing I'll ask you, man, is do you have any shout outs you can give to anyone in particular, and anything else you want to say before we head out?
Um, Shout outs. Well, I'll say shout out to you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, anytime, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I'm um honestly taken back a little bit anytime somebody asks me to come onto their channel. And that's not being like I'm not being coy or anything about that. Like, it's like honest. I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending the time with me. I had a lot of fun hanging out and talking. I'd do this again in a minute. And
next time you have a second appearance, if I'm white and tall and rich and married, you'll be like, wow, this guy really changed.
All I got to do is get the rich part, and I'd be right there with it. So I just don't have that part of it, but I got the white and the married part of it. But I'd love to have you on.
Down three, one more to go.
Yeah, exactly. Just got to check the boxes as you go. But yeah, I'd love to have you on sometime.
Don't pay attention to these cloud chasers in the chat. They are paid propagandists to spread hate against me. Actually.
I didn't even see it.
Oh, on StreamYard now, the comments, instead of highlighting them, they do it like the way that Twitch has it, where it's an overlay where you can just see them on the screen.
So but there was bad ones?
No, so you would just hit the show comments on stage on StreamYard. I don't know if you have StreamYard.
Oh, yeah.
And the comments just show now on the. It's way easier now to see them, actually. But yeah, it was great having a conversation with Wilky's Movies and Music.
Yeah, come hang out with me sometime, man.
Yeah, make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel. Can't wait to have you on for a second appearance, down the road sometime soon. Thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK Show. We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.